another vessel charge. He can turn that onto Bulba, but he has to get away from RTZ. That's the big threat. Diffuser blade up. Ensnare afterwards. Quinn's now out of mana, and he will fall again.
They just can't fight this Naga Siren anymore. He's got BKB too. You see that Wraith King has his ulti. Gets the mana burn. It's gonna run the Viper here.
Good play by him. He angles it so he goes up the cliff so he doesn't break down trees, but the arrow does nail perfectly. And Flight has a blink dagger.
He's feeling himself right now.
Not gonna be able to get the kill unless the Stampede. Oh, Bulba, what's a Bulba? He wants it real bad. He sees Viper and he cuts him down. Now he's gonna be dueled up underneath a tier 3 Bulba. That was not worth it.
And MSS finally gets some dual damage out of it.
I'd tip Bulba for that.
I would too, 100%.
Tip me now. Still though, probably not feeling too happy about this game if you're Quincy crew. So we're gonna watch that fight back again. Double time. That supernova. I mean, why did they choose to go for the duel?
I'm not sure. That's the tankiest hero by far. Even if he doesn't pop his blade mail or his BKB, it's likely they live.
Yeah. And I think like the supernova doesn't really help you there. If you were gonna go for a duel, like the Sunray is way more damage.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they were trying to discourage the fight, thinking like more people are gonna show up as we see some stuns miss. It's okay though. And now both teams are smoked up.
This is a little bit of desperation smoke. We don't have great vision. We don't have the best time of initiation. They are going to be able to get the blink dagger on the perfect hero. If they can kill Arteezy, hero would be massive. And it slows it down, but it doesn't stop it. Arteezy does fall. And now a BKB from Roya can just get kited out. Oh, he managed to get a huge shot onto Quinn. Quinn's going to take so much damage. He actually falls there. He does have a blender. And there's a shredder. Shredding that Phoenix, saying it falls. You are mano a mano, man, mano. He tries to go 1 versus 4 at this point in time with 2 lives. He takes down one of them. Now it's a 1 versus 3 with Reincarnation still up. And can he get a crit to be able to bring down crit? He does not. Now he's going to be caught back into Reincarnation, but he misses the arrow. That's no good. Viper's still around, and he could actually turn this fight for sure. If he actually lays on to crit. Oh, the 2-man stun for Bulba, and he still has a Stampede as well. If he wants to do the finishing blow onto these heroes, he can do so. UR's going to pop his BKB here. Still going for crit, but UR gets up on that kill. BKB, TP away. That stun from Bulba certainly saves that small little skirmish.
And that was the best possible fight, I feel, for Quincy crew. They find a duel onto the best target, which is Arteezy. They get all their spells off, but they're just so far behind at this point.
I mean, they need Quinn to stay alive in these fights because his Spirit Vessel is all important.
Yes, for them to take down any target. If he keeps the one alive, that would have led to a few more kills.
Yeah.
But now
it's always like that one kill and they get too greedy, they get too aggressive, they lose their positioning or something, and EG always seems to turn around on them.
Yes, but that is what I meant by they need to get a blink dagger onto MSS. Like, he needs to find initiations like that. If he just goes for the counter initiate play, I feel like it's always going to be the song lead into those kinds of fights, which is way too difficult for the rest of his team anyways.
Or if you duel somebody else other than RTZ, it could be counter-songed. Oh, Quinn, he managed to get a remnant that was far enough away when he slide a fisted. He did not get caught by the song. That's going to be a wasted ultimate from RTZ right as they were attempting Roshan. So Quincy crew, they may not be able to do anything about that area, but EG probably doesn't feel comfortable going for Roshan themselves. And this is just more time that UR can keep farming it. Going out, Quinn still has his Yule Scepter. He's fine.
I like that he's holding it. A lot of people would just read their Yules, but you can time it. It's even better for the arrow then.
This stall is so important because UR is 19.5. If you can get to level 20, it's a big difference in these team fights.
Yeah, it doesn't have to rely purely on the BKB. You can use that.
Save it for his second life.
Yeah, it's so annoying when you don't have it on the second life. You might as well just die anyways.
Yeah. So everyone, stay out of experience range. You can see SVT taking a step downwards to make sure he doesn't take one lick of experience. Observer Ward, that's a little bit more. Evil Geniuses, a song up in 8 seconds time. So they're going to smoke up now. 4-man smoke while Arteezy pushes in the mid lane. They know it's the real one, too. It just leveled up. But they're going to go in blind. The smoke breaks. He's actually missing his slight change combination. Now gets him on the Dragon Tail. Oh no, this is a disaster. It's Quinn again. Instantly on the onset of a team fight. He's out, as is SVG. Evil geniuses roll over them, and now they should be able to claim that big bounty in Roshan.
Dyer's top
And
tower.
plus side, he got level 20.
He did get his level 20. And he's going to go for a Manta style. Just good stats, I guess.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
It's just not the easiest Wraith King game anymore. Yeah, it hasn't been for quite some time. He needs more items than this. He needs... I don't really know. I would say normally I would say like Abyssal AC and just like try to fight Wraith, but you need more cleave or something like that to deal with these Naga lizards. I think this Naga Siren is just a little bit too strong for them at this point.
Arteezy statted up. Scotty, Aegis. This is high ground time. Their lane maintenance is even good. They don't have to worry about dealing with any of that. They are going to be able to fight it. We're going to take off to MSS. Scalped into an arrow. And now even Bulba managing to get the clumsy net onto you. Setting up the song, they want to go for that backline. Bulba does have a stomp here in a second. Can he actually hit the Bulba? But he does. He managed to get that with Dragon Tail on SVG. Looks like they're going to try and kill these supports first. The Supernova goes down. Goes to the attack. Looks like one five. No shot falling. And it does die. They thought it was good enough, but no. They're denied by evil geniuses. And now, with their calm, they can just deal with you are. Bit, piece by piece, life by life, evil geniuses.
They're going to call it, aren't they?
They think so. There's the arrow number 4 anyways. That would have been a sick arrow, but it's only Quinn alive now.
It's 19k. There's bottom for them to push towards. This is going to be the glyph used by them. Really well done by Fly. His four staff over the cliff. They're still really on Quinn.
Fuel Scepter into the arrow.
Perfect timing.
That's that setup we were talking about.
Yeah, now that's 5 heroes dead.
And now, I mean, maybe they could have thought if Quinn was still alive and UR chose to buy back.
I think it's still really hard.
It's still really hard, but right now it's like forfeit time. Like you have your 2 cores, you just have to give up everything that EG wants to take, which will be the second lane of barracks and bottom, possibly even tier 4's mid. Or maybe they'll just play it nice and chill. It's a best of 5 after all.
The best thing you can do when you get 2 sets of Rex like this, and you don't want to just like end the game, is spend your money.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not really getting anything out of the gold lead that you just got, right? Spend the money that you just got. There's so much money on everybody, and this is how you absolutely secure the victory at this point, I think. I'd like to see Fly go for the Axe just for fun. They are really far ahead.
Well, he's a big old party pooper.
He's going Lotus Orb.
Going Lotus Orb.
Yeah, you know, if that was Cap, that would be guaranteed a point booster right now.
I mean, I'd give them a fighting chance. I'd send you flying into that fountain right away.
Very true.
As soon as you approach that tier 3, there you go.
And they still have the Aegis on Arteezy. I'd like to think that they are just going to go for it off of this. They spent a lot of their gold.
Fly keeps switching up now. He's thinking BKB. Because as long as I kill that egg, if I can blink BKB my way forward, deal with the egg by myself, basically.
And Arteezy is really far away from his team, but of course, it's not like Quincy crew will stop to check that out.
Yeah, he's got Aegis and BKB with the song. He feels relatively safe on his own, and eventually they have to defend this top lane.
They've got to come back right now.
Quincy crew, okay.
They're going to lose power.
Mash TP. But the tier 3's already gone. Arteezy trying to set up a launch here. Actually does get Chainsaw into the duel. They might just be able to take down its first life here. All Rednet's going in with the Supernova on the ground. It's well, the Supernova. For once, it almost makes it, but no, it doesn't quite, because Bulba stampeded forward and hit it a couple times. Saw into the air, great setup on the Quinn. They are going to be able to get the Ray 5 blast on a holding struck, but a little bit low, on a Centaur. He's about 1,000 HP. They have to play back and forth out of the fountain here, and first, they have to extract Yawar from this sticky situation he's gotten into, but that inhibit from EG let him go. Second line from URs, he buys back, tries to deal with Arturo, but no, look at him, he's just getting shredded.
And now
He
he
has died 3 times in the space of 10 seconds, and that's where you call it, boys and girls. That is where the game is truly absolutely over. A 34,000 net worth lead at 36
I didn't
minutes.
think that game 2 could be any more one set game 1 was.
Yeah.
Anything else could prove me wrong, as that was an even bigger stop. And again, I can't stress this enough. Boba had a really good laning phase, and I'm not just like flaming and pointing it out.
light. It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Breathe faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just picking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Count 'em like the 4-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights. Turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. concealing what deep down I felt for you. Oh, I regret for losing the one who loved me, for who I can't go back to. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so. When there's no hope loving for you who saw me before I knew who I'd be. What I have around me means nothing to me if I can't share it with you. Walking through all the dust, memories and frame, a past we simply let fade. But I don't close the door, waiting a chance for when we'll be back again. You make me feel so crazy, still in love with you. You make me feel amazing when I'm next to you. You make me feel so crazy, my heart breaks for you. Can't help but know that I'm still in love with you. You make me feel so.
Good hero. You secured him a decent lane and a decent game.
As a team to just, despite with two stand-ins and obviously not quite the same caliber as the players they're replacing, but just to play better than the opponent all around. We have a straightforward draft, and as long as we execute our strategy, we will win.
All right, well, on that cue, BSJ, we have a draft here before us. So there we go into it. Evil Geniuses up the 2 games here, and as Grant mentioned,
Mansion yacht.
Yep.
won that coin toss and now have second pick.
Here's the Radiant
That means that Quincy crew will get the Radiant side and let the bands begin. Obviously,
Same 2 so far.
the same one so far, getting rid of the Shadow Demon, getting rid of the DP. We saw Quincy crew take a first ban favor on getting rid of the Terrorblade last time. We'll see if that is a continued trend.
Leave Chen. I don't know. Quincy Crew's been banning Chen. I think, you know what? Make him beat you with it. Fly actually is having huge impact on these team fighters. Sure, he might want to play the Chen, but it's not like a high impact hero. I actually think that's the one hero you let through.
Now, Grant, hear me out.
I'm hearing.
What do you think about Quincy crew banning Legion Commander?
So they aren't forced to pick it themselves?
They just will never pick it if it's banned in the first round.
I mean, to be fair, we talked about this yesterday, right? It's hard when you have a... how do I say it? It's hard when you have this thing at Dota, like you have an idea on Dota,
Yeah.
and you're 2 games into a grand finals. It's hard to just say, well, Legion Commander is bad, even though we think it's good. Go to the drawing board.
True.
You might not have that drawing board. I don't think you pick it, but you still have to play kind of the similar way. But they do ban the Chen. All right.
I mean, I'm memeing a bit, obviously, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I do think that Quincy crew
They overvalue it.
should
100%.
reconsider what they're getting out of their offlane. I think just these naturally scaling aura building do their job with just aura items heroes, even like the Prophet. Like, it's not an initiator, but what its purpose in the game is going to be fulfilled no matter what items it goes. It can just go items according to what its team needs: damage, man up battle, aura, whatever. On the other hand, Legion very, very distinctly needs to be able to duel and get in there.
You need items. You have to have certain items.
Yeah, and then at that point, you leave it up to your team to buy the rest of the items that your team needs, and it just makes Dota harder.
It does.
And nobody wants a game of Dota to be difficult because we all play it because it's so easy.
Yep, exactly. Ooh, God, no wonder I don't play it. No, I'm just kidding. I think EG maybe thinks about banning the Centaur. If you're worried about Quincy Grbay, I don't think it's like this hero's so OP to win, but I think it might be the best offlaner, and there's almost no comparison.
Yeah, I think it's by far the most stable. I wasn't sure going into the patch about Centaur, but he clearly benefits heavily. He just buys regen items and armor items, and then pushes R when his team needs it, and it
has an AoE stun,
2,000 health.
Yeah. 5 seconds remaining.
Bulba hit some big 2 to 3 man stuns out last game, and they were like re-engagement ones. Like, he was already half HP, he's running away to have that good decision making, be able to get those AoE stuns. Bulba looked good on it. If EG doesn't ban it and Quincy Crew doesn't pick it, it's instantly snapped up by EG. Like, they will pick it in that second pick.
This time Quincy banned the Snapfire in the first phase. I don't know if that Insta says they want to go for Phoenix or anything, but
it might.
But Fly did play a pretty good Snapfire game nonetheless, and they want to just take it off the table or leave something else juicy for themselves to pick up that we just can't really think of right now.
Yeah, I think they might just be going for the Phoenix again, and EG, they'll be fine with that. They will get the Centaur, maybe Mirana again if they want.
What about the Oracle Terrorblade?
That is in the pool still, you're right.
Yeah, Terrorblade's still available and in the pool.
Yawar might first pick. It might be some like they first pick the TV themselves on Quincy, and then EG would probably take like Phoenix Centaur or something like that. I don't know. I think I would like that change. I'm not the biggest first pick Terrorblade fan, but I want to see him switch it up, and I want to see him. You do have the best. You pick the best hero in the late game, probably in the first pick. Just get there. It's different.
I'm a firm believer. So back when I used to have to draft, and I remember playing against Complexity in a patch where Tiny was really broken, and we were like, let's just first pick Tiny against these guys. And I realized that there's like no way we know as much about Tiny as Limp does.
Yeah.
And they just like dissected us when we played Tiny.
That's sure wrong,
I think that's the same idea as like trying to first pick Terrorblade against
Evil Geniuses. Yeah,
like,
that's fair. That's fair.
He just know, like, even if you are a perfectly capable Terrorblade player,
Ortizi's at that.
Yeah,
and they know what they don't want to see. Like, and Fly knows that. It's like he knows what game is a good Terrorblade game, so he'll know what's bad for Terrorblade.
Exactly.
He'll see it right away and just think, oh, I would pick this, and this.
Yeah. So it is the same opening. The only difference is the Snapfire won't be available in the next picking phase because it's already banned. And I think both teams I don't hate either of these. I think this is a completely fine opening. This is the big pick. What do you take? Is there a core that's good versus Centaur? You just snap up here?
That's the problem, right? What
Doesn't feel like
carry,
it.
other than like Ursa, beats him in lane, and I don't think most teams want to pick Ursa this early on in the
5
draft.
seconds remaining.
EG really the only team I think across the entire world that I saw that was picking Ursa for this event.
UR does play it a lot in pubs. They could do it, but it's another thing. Just because you saw another team do it, can you play it the same way?
No, you can't. If you haven't been playing it at all, it's just not. I'm not talking about the player individually playing in the pub. Like, if your team hasn't played a scrim with Ursa,
Okay, that makes sense.
it has to be somewhat fresh, right? It doesn't. It's not like everyone on their team has no idea what an Ursa does. But getting used to playing a patch and going through the motions of the timings of Ursa and everything, even just having one game sometimes can make a big day and night difference. Yeah.
I will say that Grimstroke, and that makes me kind of think this. I know Biver is a very good Phoenix, but as you brought up, MSS has played it a lot. He is in the offlane. It almost makes me think it might be swapping over to Core because it does a lot of damage. I actually thinking about Phoenix versus Centaur. Sure, he can run from the egg, but if you have like that Veil Kaya build we've seen, even with a hood, you kind of just melt this big boy.
Any strength heroes, percentage-based damage from the Sunray, just plows through you.
Yeah, I kind of want to see MSS on the Phoenix.
You know, we're gloating a lot about how good Centaur Warrunner is for his position, and I can't help but bode the question, why are we not seeing Batrider come back in? He's picked up a lot earlier at the start of this league. People are just kind of glossing over him altogether. I thought he should be able to bring to the table kind of similar elements and is very good in the lane, but teams are just kind of...
He was first round banned every single game of the SEA.
Yes, he was.
Qualifier, so I don't know why, but certain regions...
Oh, no. You're
I agree with you.
TB'd. Oh, boy.
I think the Oracle hero makes Batrider way worse.
Certainly so. Yeah, you'd have to ban him knowing what you want to get into a Batrider type game.
It's like a whole other meta where in this region, heroes like Beastmaster are squeaking into the bans, and then that means that there's naturally going to be 1 or 2 heroes that aren't banned. And Oracle, another highly sought-after hero, based on how good he is against the Phoenixes, the Batriders, all that kind of stuff, and the Snapfire, really good against that too. And it just pretty much 90% going to pick Terrorblade here, right? The Terrorblade hero is quite bad against Phoenix, but with the Oracle laning with them to purge off the Fire Spirits, to fatigue, to heal them up, it just makes things a lot easier.
You could get peeled, obviously, since they would have the
That
pick
is
after.
true. You know what? Ignore everything I just said.
Well, I don't think it's like you're wrong. I think they might still pick TB.
I don't know though. PL's really good against Centaur Marana as well. So
Didn't they have a chance to do that in game 1 and they didn't take the PL? They took the Ricky because I don't think the PL was banned. So it's kind of
they passed on it.
It's very interesting to me that Quincy crew didn't value that as heavily as, say, other teams and even us.
yeah, PL has this scary timing late game, but it's really hard to get there
5 seconds
in
remaining.
organized Dota as long as the opponent plays clean. The only games that I saw PL really hit that threshold was when the team that was ahead slipped up once or twice. And maybe they're just not confident in the fact that they can survive as long as they have to against EG. And another Ursa pick for EG. They paired that with the Oracle. That's the 2 heroes I've seen them pick with it so far. I don't think they've picked any other carry than Terrorblade Ursa with the Oracle.
Now, I know you don't want to just Ursa, like, it's not, but honestly, just having an overpower and hitting the egg, once again, it's good. Sure, you want the Ursa, like, Fury swiping someone else, but if worse comes to worse, you have pretty good egg hitters in Marana and Ursa and Centaur as well. Engage, disengage.
It's just a very aggressive carry, and we talked about they've been giving Ryoya 10th pick literally every single game, and it's much less about Arteezy's game. It's more so about enabling Ryoya, because Arteezy's done this before. Back when Sumail was on EG, they kind of struggled between who to highlight, and I think that's actually paid off for him in terms of enabling Ryoya.
I also will say we've seen the Arteezy has played the Ursa middle a few times, and you have to be careful because I believe Ursa dumpsters Void Spirits, so you are going to have to be careful in that matchup.
Yeah, and since they have the 10th pick for EG, they should set up the lanes they want.
Yeah.
And they've gotten
the lanes they've wanted.
That was against Crazy especially, where there were some serious potential musical chairs of lanes.
There's nothing.
That EG got exactly what they wanted every single game. They're very good at that kind of stuff. That's the type of thing where a tier 1 team will
5
never
seconds
lose to a tier 2 team that way.
Yeah.
But you'll see it all the time where teams that are weaker will drop like a free win in the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game just because they messed up the lane orientations or little things like that.
Last picks. I'm trying to. So what do you need? Quincy Crew, you already got your Wraith King, he's
Really
your
good
carry.
Storm, man.
Yeah, they've been at the Storm, so it would have been like the Void Spirit in the off lane. Do you just need another? You have a Void Spirit. Do you need another playmaker on Quincy Crew, or do you just need someone who always wants to be down to fight?
I'm thinking about against Ursa. You don't want any of these like tanky
10
offlaners.
Yeah.
I think Void Spirit would have a weird time in lane.
5
You
seconds
don't go for
remaining.
Veno against Oracle. Oracle Ursa, what do you pick to lane against that?
Do you just pick something that maybe trades farm with it?
Yeah, what like what?
You know, BSJ? I'm gonna give 10 seconds. Let me think of it in Zen mode, Dakota.
Okay, go for it. I'll give you the full 10. While you get 10, I'll pose a question. You guys think Oracle's a simp, as the kids say? I think so, right? He kind of gives everything he's got to...
Where the hell did this come from?
I think I read it somewhere, and I'm like, yeah, true. It probably is.
Is this like theory crafting about Oracle's backstory? Grant, the 10 seconds are up.
Boom! It's gonna be an off-lane Weaver. The haters are here. Toss the bugs on him. You can farm up. You have plenty of mobility with a Phoenix on your side. You're gonna do it. Will they do it? Probably not.
I've
I think
honestly heard
Weaver.
crazier
I don't
things.
mind it.
I've heard crazier things. This takes me back to TI8
Yeah.
with the Wraith King Weaver meta.
Dude, I think Weaver is pretty. I do not think they'll pay it, but I think it shuts down a lot of the stuff they want to do. And not only that, it's the vision, because that was the big thing. Bulba kept re-engaging every single fight last game. If you have bugs on top of him, you have vision of him,
5
and he's
seconds remaining.
they're not gonna pick it. Keep saying it.
Yeah, I'm pulling
Weaver!
shit.
Doom!
You've already
man,
sold me. If you were in the booth, they would have already, honestly, not even waiting that full 18.
Good, you gotta make something happen, man.
Bristleback.
Dyer's turn.
Sure. I mean, that's why I didn't act that surprised when he said it, because Ursa versus Bristle is one of those that it feels like it can go either way. The Ursa gets a lot of stacks, obviously.
Oh my god.
Was that just a random pullout, or did you have any legitimacy on...
I knew he was going to say it, too.
It was like 2 games in a row by business associates where they
5
picked Bristle, and
seconds
like the
remaining.
second one was absolutely terrible. They just picked it again for the sake of picking, and I was just like, we made a joke out of it where I just said, hear me out.
Yeah.
Bristleback.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't think they were gonna pick Bristleback at all here. I just
you can
said
admit
it.
that.
I just said it to meme on Grant there.
Now you're
that's
a
why
genius.
that's why I'm laughing at myself, because I'm like so surprised they actually picked Bristleback.
Yeah, if you had Sumail on your team, you're picking AA here 100%. I just don't think you have. I don't think Realia plays that. I think AA would be really good
Does
here.
Invoke? I mean, he did Invoker earlier, but I like
Monkey
it.
King.
I like Invoker. Oh, Monkey
I
King.
like Monkey
I don't
King
think
a
I've
lot.
ever seen. Or he could just pick OD actually. I've never
OD
never
too, yeah.
ironically suggested a hero and had them pick it.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If he plays Monkey King, I think this Monkey King game could just be a 20-minute game and you own.
I'm
Let's see, 4
down for
seconds.
his OD as well.
Is there enough team?
Oh,
They do the Invoker.
okay.
He's playing it a decent amount, and it is versus the Wraith King and the Bristleback. 2 heroes who they are tanky and they'll sit there. But if they don't have mana, they kind of suck. And I think this is a real good Quaswex Invoker game.
It
the
is.
thing is, Quinn has shown to be able to beat Realia pretty hard in the lane, and when Realia fell behind in that other game against Crazy, he was just completely worthless. So as long as Realia doesn't get completely dumpstered, once again, I hate to say it, I know EG's up 2-0 and I picked him twice, but I think EG's draft is just much better again.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of threat to him in the early game, right? Who's the 4 position on Quincy Crew, and are they really going to be intervening with mid lane at all? It doesn't seem
Why
like
not?
it.
Phoenix, yeah.
I think they're going to have more focus elsewhere, so I'm agree with you. Brian, before we go to the casters, final thoughts?
I have to go with Chaos. I called the Bristleback pick. They got this.
All right, fair enough. We'll see if it's going to be good enough for him. Why don't we go ahead and throw things over to our premier casting duo. It's Blitz and Capitalist.
You know, it's an exciting time, and we've got some great Dota ahead, so we should all be squealing and jumping for joy, much like BSJ. It's a game 3 between Evil Geniuses and Quincy Crew, and hopefully not the last game, because EG is currently up 2-0, and Grant's feeling him. He's been correct in every prediction so far. Blitz, are you feeling him? Are you at home feeling him with the odds?
Yeah, I could see that. And shout out to Anton.
People have really lost faith, by the way, in poor old Quincy Crew. It just keeps on ticking down
right now. But shout out to Anton Turo in chat who said, "I hope this will be a great game and that both teams will have fun no matter the outcome."
Shout out to you, Anton. I hope all of you in chat adopt such a happy,
they're gonna be
hateful atmosphere.
They're gonna be
We've got 40
hateful.
seconds to the bounty runes, so let's get into the game, shall we?
If whoever wins is terrible, whoever loses is terrible, and whoever wins is marginally less terrible for winning in North America. That's going to be the majority of the comments.
That is true. I mean, are they wrong? Blitz, are they wrong?
Yeah, winning is winning. If EG wins, this is incredibly impressive. They're going to beat a major qualified team in Quincy Crew, who have a lot of good players, with 2 stand-ins and a lot of ping on their side. And for Quincy Crew, this is maybe the beginning of a huge turnaround. I haven't seen a reverse sweep in quite some time. Maybe we'll just see it right now as
Arrow goes out, lands onto UR. Bulba will get some decent damage in.
Oh no, he's just giving him freebies.
Yeah, and now
Don't
he's
do
up to
that.
7 retaliate stacks. That is what Bulba wants.
He wants those stacks, guys. Don't do it to him.
You guys
It's
keep
part
on
of the
giving him
plan.
Centaur. This whole plan has been for you to go on Bulba.
It's like when, remember when Keen got AA every game? During Dream League, that's the same thing. But here at ESL, it's the Bulba Centaur. You know, who's your MVP? Bulba Centaur.
Who would be your MVP so far?
I'm not sure. Not sure.
It's a little hard to tell, right? We've had some off games for a lot of people.
Yeah, if they reverse sweep, who knows? You know, I don't know who's overperforming right now, because Quincy Crew right now is currently underperforming. I guess the easy answer for the time being would be like Crit or Arteezy, but we'll see. Whoever wins this game 5 and has a fantastic performance could sort of determine things for me anyways.
This is a fun lane to be in. Bristleback versus Ursa. One of the few offlaners that you can keep your distance to Ursa, and you can actually be the one to force him back. You build up like 2 or 3 stacks, then you can keep going in. Ursa naturally has to back away. MSS brought a ton of mangoes to make sure he can keep doing that consistently. Not a whole lot of lanes are going to be able to take down Oracle Ursa. But it looks like they have figured that out, and I'm happy for Quincy Crew that they figured that out, because I was a little bit scared that they were just going to get the Bulba Centaur and the Arteezy Ursa free game.
Oh, look at this. They actually leveled stun. And I think you sort of have to. If SVG's playing Grimstroke, you're really leaving him out to dry. Yeah, if you don't do that.
You got to go for it. You can't just sit there, AFK farm. The only way you would not do that is if, like, Grimstroke went top and they tri-lane for some reason. That sounds terrible, because neither one of these supports want to tri-lane. Mid lane, Quinn's doing a pretty good job getting CS, but he's taking a lot of harassment for it. He's 10-5 right now compared to the 5-1 of Roya. Roya just focusing on trying to burn through Quinn's regen as fast as possible, because he is at a bit of a damage difference between him and the opposing mid laner. Great Fire Blast, just Stroke of Fate, just some love taps on a Bulba, nothing serious. They're not really trying to make a full go on him, just trying to get him low enough that they can kill him next go around. But he did just pick up his Ring of Terras, so he is going to be significantly tankier, and now he's going to be regenning up a lot.
Yeah. It's going to be really hard for them to get any sort of meaningful harass out on him anymore. So another hit flies in, and they're doing some pretty good harass. I think you want to stick in this position, and he does have one queued up.
Yeah. He's queuing that up, maybe some extra regen. And once he gets that, he'll be good to go in lane. But, you know, at the same time, top lane's going fine for the offlaner there as well. Bristleback has a Soul Ring as well as 2 Mangoes left. He's got level 2 Quills.
If you spam out hard enough, I actually think it's sort of hard for the Ursa to kill you.
Oh, for sure.
Just run away from the back. It's the same thing as we were talking about with the Timbersaw matchup, where if you get enough stacks built up, it's not the worst thing. And in fact, he's getting out-harassed.
I think level 4 they can actually kill RTZ if they can push Fly away somehow. The problem is they can't really go for goose stacks while Fly can just purge him off with Fortune's End. Oh, mid lane gets a little bit close, but Quinn actually gets his haste rune denied. Roya got close enough to it to be able to attack the haste rune that was on the ground, so Quinn is left with an empty bottle. A tad unfortunate, but at the same time, Quincy crew is looking pretty good in the CS department, mostly due to that mid lane.
Top lane, too.
Yeah. You can see every single time Arteezy kind of wants to man up, he takes so much quill damage, eventually he has to back down.
Radiant's top tower is under
If
attack.
anybody's curious, you can dispel the goo, but you cannot dispel the stacks. Oh, SVG. Oh, you are, did you see that? He spawned skeletons and a skeleton jumped out in front of that arrow. The boys protected the man. And SVG back over the top lane. Viper's going to be a target of some aggression here, and MSS won't be able to help him out here. Sending kill to Courier and gets Fly a little bit low. Maybe he's going to stick on to Arteezy here. Yeah, he's got 4 different stacks here. They're going to try and separate Fly with the Fortunes and MSS.
He doesn't want any more stacks.
He's not in range anymore. He's going to be able to get a 3rd stack up, but most of the fear is gone from Arteezy. He actually went for a 2nd level on Bristleback. Fully committing to just being able to sit in lane and to win through out-harassing and out-CSing. Not a bad idea. It certainly seems to be working 25-8 compared to the 22-2 of the Ursa. It's just the kill that's making the difference in net worth.
And all 3 CS charts in favor for all the Quincy crew.
Might be able to get him, but Bulba, the stun lasts just long enough for you to be able to get out of that Inkswell stun.
Bulba's bulletproof, man.
They're going to have to coordinate that a little bit better next time. See if they can Inkswell slightly before they go for the Wraith Fire Blast.
And let's see if this last pick Invoker has a little bit more impact this time around. I think the Void Spirit is fine against it matchup-wise. I'm not sure if you ever die or anything like that, but I think Ryoya will at least get a little bit of farm, and then I think they anticipate him roaming around the map, and that's exactly what he does. He has his urn. He wants to try to pick up a kill here. He's not too fussy about who it goes on either, Cap. He just wants charges.
Yeah, charges mean everything, and unfortunately for him, here's a melee creep that is hitting the hard camp top lane. Oh, Quinn actually managed to get the kill on Flying. It looks like they're going to be able to chase him easy underneath the tower. He is definitely dead, as Yuar shows up after that attempted gank from the Invoker. They're just going to look to trade towers here, but much to the favor of Quincy crew.
Yeah, and they all got out.
Yeah.
They have a ward down there. Really nice ward. That lane ward spotted Ryoya getting in, and I think they anticipated that move.
So the first rotation from Roya fails, and he was already down in CS as well. He needed a kill to kind of bring things back, especially after it was the Roya last pick Invoker in the first series, right? Yes, that did not go well
against the Shadow Fiend. Oh my god, he got there are words that I can't say because I'm on an ESL broadcast, but he got crushed.
Tower is about to take the plunge.
He wasn't pretty.
Tower faces a stiff wind.
Several times I had to avert my eyes. Got a weak stomach.
Top tower is under
Good one.
attack.
Eaton meds in. Quinn's cutting creep waves behind the tower, so his creep wave can do as much damage to the mid tower. You are. Oh, he's getting below, and he doesn't actually have his level 6. He gets the kill. They did not expect somebody to show up in that top lane. Quinn, nice job. Dissimulate. He's actually going to go for the kill on a Fly. He already killed him once. He's going to try a 2nd time, but crit. It's all a bait. But Quincy's incoming. He managed to dodge that arrow. Nice stroke of fate. He's able to finish him off, and now with an extra bit of haste run, Quinn's going to think about a secondary kill here, but he no longer has charges.
Middle tower is under attack.
And no tornado means that no follow-up there.
Oh, he goes back in. Look at this. Quinn, he's going to be able to hold the arrow. Actually lands, but not before he manages to get off the ether remnant. That extra bit of disable is going to be enough to get the kill onto Roya. Now them assimilate. He gets away from Boba, who pump takes the stun a couple of times. Instead of going on a Void Spirit, he wasn't able to get that kill. Instead, they'll just have to accept SVG as a sacrifice.
This time they're getting run at a lot faster. They will lose a ward for that, but well worth it as they pick up a few kills there, including the kill on the Invoker. That's the big one for them.
Dire's top tower is
And
about
it's not
to
like
take the plunge.
Arteezy's having a good time either. In fact, top net worth for EG is Bulba, who, you know, they didn't really focus on shutting him down again. He is going to be doing pretty well for himself. But once again, Arteezy lost his tower, not in the easiest position, and MSS off to a hot start again. We'll see what he can parlay that into this time around.
They expect Bulba with a similar game plan to game 2, where he picks the Centaur and he just, after a successful or somewhat successful lane, he just sits mid, protects that tower. Roya certainly cannot do it. He takes way too much damage, and now Bulba's going to be chased down. Small stun. MSS does have a level of Viscous Nasal Goo. Now Fly is going to be needed to protect Bulba. He's going to use the Fortune's End to be able to purge off some of this, and also manage to hit both Quinn and MSS, locking them in his place. Bulba's going to be looking away. The Stampede if he wants to use it to save Fly's life, but Fly, he saved Bulba, and Bulba says, see you later, bud. He still has an extra movement speed, and Arteezy might need it here as he chases down Fiverr. Vanquist time just comes back up, so this attempt at a kill will never work for our tour.
Yeah, and he's gonna still chase, but he doesn't have his Earth Shock, so no real gap closer than quite yet. He's getting harassed out pretty easily.
Tower is under
Very
pressure.
careful, dipping a little bit low. Does have the Enrage, but the Bristleback instead will be the target.
Stampede, that gets him close enough to be able to land the stomp, and they double edge to make sure the Bristleback does die. But trading offlaner for offlaner doesn't feel the greatest for EG.
Yeah, especially because Bulba died first, so he doesn't get any sort of experience for that, and he is the highest net worth on his team.
Yeah. And also, Arteezy joined that fight, as did Roya. You are. He's playing a timeout here, just focusing on farming. Arteezy does manage to find a secondary kill here on SVG after he dodges that Ink Swell.
And we saw his Ursa earlier. It just gets aggressive on the map. They just want to fight, fight, fight. But the Wraith King is, you know, kind of ignoring all of this. He's going to hit a pretty decent Radiance timing if he doesn't die anytime soon.
Tornado MP, so hard to land that combination with Dissimulate being such a free, get out of jail free card. I guess the implication would it should always be free. 7-5, 2,000 net worth lead, and Quincy crew, they're gonna smoke up with Quinn and lead Bristleback into the mid lane, so he can get a bit of farm to complete whatever team fight item he's going. Looks like it's Guardian Greaves. And they can try and invade the jungle. Now, Crit, they don't want to run into him. He's super mobile, and he's not that important. What they really want is Arteezy. And Fiverr has already had him scouted. Arteezy just stacked up that easy camp, so he's going to go back to it. And Quincy crew, they should know Quinn's going to jump forward. Leading off, the Remnant is going to be able to catch Arteezy, but he managed to get off the Enrage, slowing down that stun. And it looks like the Supernova is going to be way off the mark. Arteezy's going to be able to escape the game. Drop down, Tornado into an arrow. MSS facing the wrong direction too, but enough backup. The rest of Quincy crew shouldn't really matter. Arteezy into a dangerous position, and the jump forward from Quinn catches him as he tries to get out of there. Fly's going to be caught by a beautifully placed Ether Remnant by Quinn.
What do you think the plan there was for Arteezy?
No idea. I mean, he saw many heroes try and gank him. He had to have known that Quincy crew was there in force.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
Once again, the last pick, Invoker, not really working for EG.
No, it's not.
He has no farm. He's getting outpaced pretty hard by the Void Spirit, who is second in net worth. Had himself a very free time, and it's just not really slowing down the pace or even picking up the pace. Not really doing anything for the pace Just kind of running around towards the mid lane.
There is no pace.
There's no pace. They're just kind of getting ran at, and it's a 4K gold lead already.
Yeah, and we almost have a relic, so that's about to pick up even faster if we get that big farming item for UR. And this is not the same kind of lineup as that Naga Siren against Wraith King, right? This is a lineup that will get outscaled quite heavily by a Wraith King.
Dyer's
Am I wrong in
top
saying that?
tower is under attack.
I don't think you're wrong in saying that, no.
Jump forward in mid lane. Aether Remnant's going to miss. Roya goes the other direction. Nice launch, but he's not going to be able to get away from this as well. There's just not enough mobility in the world to get you away from that deadly combination of Void Spirit plus Grimstroke. Now Phoenix RTZ looking for that kill. Enraged to take off some of that Aether Remnant. Still going to get kited anyway, but now he's going to be kited out. Oh, yeah, the double goo with the Soul Bind is going to slow both of them down. Here comes that Grimstroke stun. He will manage to get it on the Bulba, slowing down just a bit more. And stacking up the goo. The backline fly. Somehow he ended up behind everybody else. Look at quickly get locked down by Fiverr. MSS now just bullying the hell out of Evil Geniuses. He says this Bristleback hero way better than a Legion Commander. I am feeling it right now. I've got a pipe. I can take any kind of damage they throw at me. As he marches forward once again. Quinn, he's going to try and jump onto Roya. They do manage to get a small stun. Follow the Aether Remnant and to be able to get the kill. Supernova on out. Quinn trying to turn. Go for the A. He needs too much time. He's not going to get it in time. He's going to get stunned up. And the rest of the team is going to be separated from Ortiz. He now has to turn and go for this hopeful kill in Fiverr. He just needs one swipe. He knows he's dead. He just wants to tell things low. But it's not there. He can't even get that crispy chicken down. Now it's going to be Sunrise into Bulba. Aether Remnant pull back in. They ignore Centaur for a moment. Deal with flying first because they know he has his ultimate, so they can turn back into Bulba in peace. And he'll rest in pieces alongside Chris. Evil Geniuses. That was a wipe.
This last pick Invoker is really not pulling out for them right now. And this Void Spirit is just getting in there. These combos that they're laying out, they can't kill anybody. EG just doesn't have damage for anyone. Not for the 4 Phoenix, not for this 5 Grimstroke. They can't really get on top of anybody. What? They have damage issues, initiation issues, they just have issues.
And EG was doing this exact same thing to Quincy Crew earlier. What is it about these two teams that they just like stomp back and forth? There seems to be, as soon as a team gets an advantage, they just roll over the other one repeatedly.
I think this game especially is a draft-related issue. The fact that they don't really need this Wraith King and UR is able to just farm during this time.
Lends itself back to it. You could see that tornado, it dispels off, but it also makes the Inkswell stun right away. The Supernova really well placed. It was confidently placed on the front lines, knowing that EG could not turn around, especially with RTZ a distance away.
Yeah, he's all in to try to get that kill, but he's just getting kited. And Bristle, yeah, just not really getting countered. Oracle plus Ursa versus the Phoenix Bristleback doesn't really feel like they were able to do too much, even though they did get first blood. MSS had the freest time, and this time around he was able to really play out his hero, wasn't really forced into any sort of moves that he didn't want to make. Easy game for him so far.
MSS will get the last hit on the tier 2 tower. They're all setting up on Fiverr right now with this Moonlight Shadow. But Fiverr, not only does he have Icarus Dive, he also has Force Staff and Supernova ready to go. He is not the easiest support to kill. And knowing that, especially how safety was around that tier 2, they give up. Focus on farming for now, but if they do that on that side of the map as well, Quincy Crew will take full advantage of it. They've got a Bristleback and a Wraith King. They've got the sustain, they've got the minus armor. They can do Roshan at any time. EG knows it though. The hero's gonna come in. Initiation was found on Roya. He's gonna be protected, but now the double fight. That's not gonna stop it. The false promise may have saved Roya, but he's still gonna be chased by MSS.
MSS doesn't care. Look at this. He's gonna zone out all 3 heroes. Bulba doesn't have Stampede now, and Ryoya is doing his best to try to do something here as Arteezy is in no man's land.
Again, he is completely isolated from his team, and Quincy crew just doubled down on him. Meanwhile, MSS, he was sitting there looking at, he probably wasn't even clicked on his hero. He was clicked on Roya. He was looking at that Spirit Vessel recipe in his backpack, and he was just laughing his ass off. He's like, this is the freest game. I can do whatever I want.
He would be entirely correct here. There's no way for them to threaten him. He's got pipe, 20 stick charges that he doesn't need to use. Once in a while, he needs a tango just as an act of dominance, I guess. They're going to give the Aegis to the Wraith King, who now has 3 lives. Every single time they go on
Somebody, they lose like less than a third of their HP. And seen from Quinn here, he's going to quickly heal up and doubles his damage onto Bulba. Well, at least if EG does kill anybody, there's some hefty killing sprees to be caught. Dominating streak on Piper.
Hey, Biver's 7-1-7 right now. He's been in 14 of his team's 18 kills. It's been a very good Phoenix game for him as Moria gets TP canceled and they're actually gets wrong. They've got no detection for him, it looks like.
Well, that's a little bit foolish, but back over to mid lane. Yoar being chased to He's got Aegis and Reincarnation. I can't imagine that any fight, starting off going on the Rain King is a good one, especially with MSS in town. He ain't the run that catches Bulba right as he goes for the stampede, so he just gets pulled back into his own doom. He's going to be saved by flight. Could use the false promise, but eventually he's going to be burned out by the Radiance if they could see him. Fortunately, the Moonlight Shadow is currently protecting them, and all of a sudden, Arteezy is once again left completely by himself, isolated from his team, because they're all trying to play in the base right now, and Arteezy is playing closer to the Radiant base.
Yeah, it always feels like, especially in this game, that next thing happens, they're not going to waste any more time. They are already up 2 games, so I think this one was, they kind of realized they can never get into a shootout fight. The last bit of they're not really looking out for EG. I think they wanted a Spirit Vessel carrier, but they needed something else. I think their safe lane had some issues too. Like Snapfire plus Ursa would be very
Dire team ban.
In the last game.
Yeah.
So I do like the change. I still think second pick is better, but I think for this situation, SVG kind of has a read on Bulba now, and I like that he mixed it up.
If somehow Quincy Crew managed to come out on top of this series, I wouldn't mind asking that question. I'm curious, could it be just a simple mix-up, like, when those types of games and the last one, Bulba might be already going through the motions of, all right, well, next draft I'm going to pick this, go that, and then he suddenly finds out, oh, I'm going to get first pick or whatever. And now I have to change everything up a bit. It could be a bit of a mix-up. Could be overthinking it. But nonetheless, as you see, we have a draft before us here already. Death Prophet ban, Phoenix ban, Beastmaster gone, SD gone, Coddle, he's too OP now, he's got to go. And of course, Terrorblade also taken off the table. That prestigious comfort pick for RTZ not going to be available.
I know who the first pick's going to be. Phoenix is gone. It's Winter Wyvern, right? Phoenix, Coddle gone. Your two big five game-changing ultis that kind of control an area. Winter Wyvern is only. I guarantee a Winter Wyvern here. Guarantee. Okay, no, Earthshaker or Winter Wyvern. I'll give myself two.
What about AA?
No.
Okay.
And they're going to get AA Timbersod, and then Quincy Crew lose the game. You're right. Maybe they do have to take AA. Then I think they're going to go Winter Wyvern. I think SVG very much values putting himself on a hero that, he can kind of sit back and make one big call during a team fight. They go Grimstroke. Grant, you are an idiot. No, you are, Grant. Sorry, I saw myself in the mirror. And, well, this Grimstroke he owned. We talked about it. You put him on the Void Spirit. He just Inkswell, run in, you put it on the Bristleback, you just run in. All of a sudden, this Grimstroke opens up any sort of melee hero, and it kind of forces EG maybe to pick that AA, so they can't do these high strength heroes.
Nah, you get Ricky if you pick AA.
5 seconds remaining.
So, I mean, how do you not get Ricky?
I like...
Is there... Because it feels like they might just get Ricky no matter what, right?
Yeah, because Terrorblade's banned, so that's kind of the main deterrent from the carry role.
I actually don't think they'll go to Ricky. I know you say it's the best combo, but I think they might just, if it's not bad Wraith King game, they might just do the Wraith King Grimstroke.
That's actually a good good adjustment to the Grimstroke. It's most likely a 5, so when the Grimstroke, whatever hero partner he has with him, goes on you with Inkswell, you just snowball until the end of the duration of the Inkswell.
Unless you gotta go with the combo as before the Snapfire second. You get the Lich, right? The Lich with the Grimstroke, and then when they snowball together, you just kick that Chain Frost, right? Kick the Chain Frost into all of them, and just let them just die.
I do think people should be drafting. I know the Inkswell is very good. It's like the main part of it now. I'm really surprised we don't see more combos with that ulti, especially. That last game was just straight up 4-on-4 and 5v5 fights. I think maybe you do pair something up with this Grimstroke that's a combo. And they do a Rubik. So you got the double lift, double fade bolt.
Double steal.
Double steal, indeed. If you didn't know, it's only the one you steal from.
What do you mean?
What? You only get one spell? No. What if he did?
You'd have to have like 8 slots for abilities just in case you stole like 2 abilities with 2...
Oh my goodness, this guy has 12 abilities. He's the second invoker.
And then he Lotus. I stole myself. What's happening?
Whoa.
5 seconds remaining.
The different openings. So it looks like both. I'm actually pretty surprised, right? We haven't seen this. Both teams pretty much open both their support combos. You don't see that often.
They're shifting the cores down.
Nope. As you ought to, yeah.
You don't want to get them too early, but second phase certainly we'll see some of the cores come out. Some of the offlaners, probably people to start off these fights. Centaur is still in there.
I like that Void.
Get rid of the Void.
Okay. Yeah, that Void with the Snapfire. It's just a good combo. Arteezy, maybe he felt like he didn't get to have a big impact in that game as Ursa, so he wants to have that. I have Chrono. I control where the game is when it's up.
I think the fact that EG picked 2 supports makes it much more likely for Quincy Crew to pick a second support. Just because in first pick you're usually doing like 1-for-1 counters. Just because you do have these 3 counter picks in the row in the middle, and the Rubik's just the natural counter to Snapfire. You easily steal her ultimate whenever you want it, and also it's just in game it's really easy to play Rubik, I think, against the Snapfire.
But what does this say? Because it feels like with EG's support duo, if this is their duo, is that they don't have any real hard disable or lockdown. Like if they wanted to move into a Storm Spirit game or something from Quincy Crew, you know, there's not going to be anyone there to really lock them in their
That
spot.
is scary.
It's always been the issue with Tusk as a 4. It's always been the issue. And they immediately address your concern, their Call guy,
I believe Quinn might just monkey
the Knight of
you.
the Dragons.
Yeah, they need that jump stun, durability. He
Razor
covers all
seems nice
that.
too. I think they'll probably pick. I honestly think Razor's more likely right now.
Okay. I think the problem is Wraith King isn't banned and Arteezy will still play, and I think if you get the Monkey King, it almost denies. It doesn't clearly deny it, but as we talked about, you throw the Monkey King ult down, Wraith King can't get out.
Wraith King is denied by DK, I'm pretty sure now. Based
Okay.
on the.
They just don't play together?
Based on the. Oh, you're saying for
I'm
the
saying
same
for
team.
EG, yeah, I'm saying I
Oh.
think you put the Monkey King here for Quincy Crew because
Okay.
it denies the Wraith King, and then
I see.
you yourself can get it.
Yeah.
I'm doing like 3 steps in it. I'm doing some
gotcha.
chess. I'm going Magnus Carlsen on
It's
this.
either,
brain
it's
time
either
over
going
here.
to be Pugna, Wraith King, or Razor.
So you hate my Monkey. Why do you not like Monkey King?
Oh, I meant Monkey King instead
Oh.
of not Wraith King. Sorry.
Okay. Brian's losing it, but we all are.
Razor,
Don't worry.
Monkey King,
Yeah, you.
or Pugna.
Okay.
And
let's
that when I
see.
say that, I mean it's going to be one of these 2 picks because they can kind of do that in whatever order they want.
Because they get the last overall pick of this phase.
yeah.
And they're not losing. Well, they are losing a lot of time, using a lot of time as well. I think you just get a counter to the DK in lane. They do a Pango.
Okay.
Team fight control. You have that area we talked about. Obviously, the Phoenix, the Coddles. Pango is not quite the same, but if you take a fight in the mid lane right at the river, this Pango is going to be perma-stunning at least one hero. And
Yeah.
you always have to be careful.
It's nice, like you said, Dakota, you worry about the Storm Spirit.
10 seconds.
Pick up a hero that's just elusive for Pangolier.
5
In the early
seconds
game, doesn't
remaining.
get blocked by shards. If you snowball him, he's going to just swashbuckle away. So right now, his only real threat is the DK stun, and he's just a powerful team fighter, Pango. I think he got really buffed up by all the popularity of regen items to the laning stage. It's really all he ever needed. He always built like bottle and mana boots and was struggling to figure out exactly what it took to sustain through his first couple items. But now, will this be the mid lane Pango or the off lane Pango? I know they play both.
Yes, they do. And you don't have the last overall pick, which kind of hurts. But whoa, hey, the Weaver! That is, I'm sure Mason had a word with Arteezy after that last game and said this hero's broken. I mean, Mason honestly does believe this hero's broken, not just because he spans it. It's kind of one of the highest mobility heroes in the game. You actually have a decent amount of burst damage. You jungle pretty damn quick. I've seen him. You can like triple stack the not stack with the bugs, but you can put the bugs on 3 camps. You Sakuchi through. You farm very quickly. And
5
honestly, you're good
seconds
versus the
remaining.
Pango. You're one of the few Pango swashbuckles on you. Oh no, I'm disarmed. You just run away until you're undisarmed.
Most notably to me, all the ones we suggested, the Razor, Monkey King, and Pugna, are all very bad versus Weaver.
Yep.
So it kind of
A deny is a
covers,
deny.
yeah, it covers your bases in regards to giving Quincy Crew that perfect 8th pick hero.
And you don't really want to pick the Wraith King into the Weaver, because I was still like, they might. I honestly could see him just because Yoar likes it, and it is not just because it's counter, but you have a nice time window. You know what you're going to do with your like phase boots, radiance, plus maybe 1 item. You just power through, and that's how Quincy's been winning the games they win.
They did pick Weaver into Rubik, which is a bit strange. I think that's one of the best spells in the
Here's the
entire game for
radiant
Rubik to
path.
steal. That's not like a massive team fight ultimate, is the Sakuchi.
I guess you either, now you have to make a decision. Do you steal Sakuchi or do you steal the Snapfire? Obviously you could steal Sakuchi and to steal the Snapfire ulti, but
Well, I'm talking about like in team fights, you're probably going to steal a Snapfire ultimate, but when you're just like skirmishing around the map, just playing kind of farming Dota, you steal
Sakuchi's really
Sakuchi
good.
and Weaver, and Rubik now becomes a Weaver that can stun
5
you.
seconds
that's an
remaining.
instant disable, yeah. So Morphling, all right, you have the late game hero now, unless EG they have that last pick, but you're looking for a Bulba hero. No, wait, DK isn't going to be in the off lane, isn't it?
It could easily be an offlane DK.
Feels like that's kind of how Bulba wants to play it.
At the same time, they have played Ryo on DK like 4 or 5 times.
True. True. That's why you have the last overall pick, though, so you can make that decision then.
Bulba, offlane Elder type. Let's go.
You're bringing it back.
Bring it back.
We saw 2 Elder Titans. They've both been 5s, unfortunately, but
Oh.
we have seen, not an NA, but we have seen
There's
some
Elder Titan
Titans.
players on both these teams. I mean, Mojo's also.
It's a pretty damn good Batrider
SEG, yeah.
game for EG as well. 10th pick Batrider. The monkey's forever special.
Look at that. The respect
Hear 'em
band
out,
now.
hear 'em out, hear 'em out.
Hear Quincy crew out, and they did. The hearing is there.
No, there's EG's like, I don't want to hear it. All right, shut up. Go Bristleback.
Get out of here. So, yeah, I think they might. You're right. That Batrider looks really good. He's one of the few who is good versus Rubik because he just blinks on top and you're not stealing anything. You're probably gonna die. Pango, you just lock him down, and even Morphling in the very early stages, Batrider kind of owns you.
Yeah, the only play they would have to the Batrider lasso is an insta-lift, but they suspect that it is a Weaver off lane for Bulba, I honestly think is what they think here based on that Naga ban. It's a pretty sick Slark game if you want to ask me as well.
On who?
For EG.
Okay.
Against Morphling as well as the 2 supports, it is quite nice. It's
That
like
just looks weird. The Weaver Slark DK.
Weaver can build like utility items. You go like Spirit Vessel, first item Weaver. It's not
5
actually
seconds
bad.
remaining.
They couldn't alk in this game, could they?
I believe wasn't it? Oh, it wasn't banned. That was last game.
You got through.
Hey, the Mars. We saw that hero yesterday. It was in every single game.
Other than I guess Pangolier, PL's looking pretty fresh right now too.
Fresh as it gets. And does a PL out carry a Morphling in the late game, or is it who's behind you? 100%.
No,
Okay.
100%. PL matches up incredibly well versus Morphling.
Okay. Do you think they should just take?
It's
Is
the
there anything
Pangolier
else?
factor. It's just you purposely pick Pangolier as a deterrent
5
from
seconds
picking PL,
remaining.
but
Well, this would be the 3rd time you suggested PL.
if it's
What about Ursa?
Death pick title.
I mean, versus a Mars Pango, I think it is a much better Ursa game, and that's why they do last pick it. Even versus Morphling, right? Morphling wants to stay low and be able to last hit. With an Ursa on you can't really do that.
It's going to struggle a bit in lane, I think, though, just because Rubik Mars spams pretty heavy with just both of them pushing W on
So
you.
it's a mid Pango?
You don't think Arteezy might play the Ursa middle here and Rioya goes to a side lane?
Oh, they could do that. Yeah, that's very
Oh
likely.
my goodness, wait, a Bulba Tusk, yeah, with the Crit and Weaver. Okay.
Crit Weaver.
The 4 Weaver, we haven't seen, I mean, Lil made that one pretty good
right?
way back
that
then.
was way back. Get the Ags
2-3
and
years in.
get the early Blightstone and just be a real piece of work.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll go Blightstone against the Morphling, just because he's
So much armor.
pretty high armor.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the closest draft for me. I do, when Arteezy, I know he just lost with Ursa, but when you get a last pick Ursa, and I think he will go middle, I think it'll be a lot easier. It's going to come down, can MSS set up these kills on the supports, the DK, the Weaver? He has to be on point with his Mars Spear, and I believe he has the Crimson Treasure one, so he's got the $500 one. He's ready to go.
Yeah, if they put Ursa mid, I favor EG.
All right. Sounds good, gentlemen. We'll see if you're right. Let's throw things over to our casting duo who are going to bring the action here. It's Catalyst and Blitz.
Well, we managed to sweep that Fnatic managed to pull off in Southeast Asia, but releasing a game 5. After all, Quincy crew already countered one lineup, and EG feels like they're kind of dropping the same stuff.
Yeah, they're just going to keep running it back, right? Why not?
Yeah.
They're one game away from victory. This is their freebie game as
They pulled it back a little bit.
a little
They
bit.
pulled it back a little bit.
Confidence is, and EG as a brand name is still getting that recognition, 1.65. But we are getting into game number 4 as EG are up 2-1. If they win this game, they will be crowned the ESL LA online champions.
North America. Yeah.
Why'd you laugh, huh, son? Grant, come beat this guy up.
Oh, he's coming with the foam finger. All right, I'll keep in line.
30 seconds to battle.
Crit does indeed go the Blightstone on his 4-position Weaver. That is the one switch up that Evil Genius is going to be doing. They seem to really like putting Crit on just not the meta heroes that I'm expecting from the 4 position.
Yeah, why not?
Lots of Mirana, now Weaver.
The pattern is complete!
Boba had a good game as the Tusk off lane last time. I imagine Arteezy's going to get speared as soon as he comes up for this.
And we're clear for running.
Or God's Rebuked.
Okay, that works too.
Either way, it's a 2-for-2 trade. Definitely seems like they fit Boba into, all right, we found what works for you. Let's just keep it going at that. Crit can play the crazy wild heroes. Roya is going to be playing that mid lane DK against Quinn's Pango.
Okay, and his Invoker last game was not very impressive at all, but hopefully his DK is a little bit better. We've seen his DK really pop off.
Yeah, he did a really good job. So, like, he actually scaled really well into the game. I was surprised he was able to pull off.
Oh, look at this. They're going to go for the kill. Onto SVG. The tag team is popped. They're on top of him right now. He's getting really low, but they're not going to commit for that. And Fly is in fact just going to TP out. Maybe he would have gotten the kill if he had actually skilled the cookie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't mind that one because they just burned the regen. It didn't really cost them anything, right? It's just a TP, which at the start you've got 3 of. No big deal. I appreciate the, like, even if you don't get the kill, just burning through its healing cell, it's got to feel good. This crit, nicely done. Halts for a second with Shikuchi and then does manage to pick up that range creep. Bottom lane is going to be Ursa Snapfire against Rubik Mars, which, you know, I always feel like between God's Rebuke and Fate Bolts, you could do a fair amount to almost any lane.
I know I often go for Spear first, and I've seen guys like Ice go for the Spear first to try to get some good harass or anything like that, but I know you really like it for the slow especially. And
yeah.
Now he gets a level of it, and he's getting really aggressive on Arteezy. He's getting quite low, but the stun's going to come out.
Fortunately, MSS was very careful in making sure not to go within tower range. If he had during that stun, it could have been kind of bad for him. But an early pickup of the Orb of Venom is trying to slow down, but Arteezy, not having an Orb of Venom of his own, is unable to chase MSS down. How's Ryoya doing? He is 8-1 compared to 10-3. So is this expected to be a little bit of a losing matchup? I'm sure it's just farming back and forth, but
I think they'll trade farm, but I have to imagine based on attack animation, like,
he's gonna get the stun and crit's dead. That is gonna be your first blood. You are. An early kill for him. Things are starting out great for Quincy.
where he was going for, actually.
He was like, there's no way they'll chase me, right?
Yo, once again, MSS's lane is fine. In fact, he's winning in CS. They keep picking this Ursa, I'd imagine, because they think it's the counter to some of these melee heroes. Quinn out of mana, does have a fairy fire, but doesn't pop it.
Well, that just turned things around.
That's going to turn things around quite big as the 4th position Weaver, it pays off.
Yeah, his death, in a way, you know, maybe he gave up first blood, but still, the mid kill.
True.
Very valuable.
Very smart. This is
all
why
part
they take the Bucks.
Another
As
spear, and God's needed to finish him off.
didn't even get the animation off in time. He actually just got slammed in the air.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the cookie, if you interrupt it with any sort of movement abilities, she'll just slam to the ground where she's at, including if you kill something mid-jump.
So far, pretty even laning phase, I'd say. You are not having as good of a lane as I figured, but he does have the first one. And
Telekinesis taunts him away, and it says he does have
and
a spear. He'll be good.
Back to back, hits both.
But he is burning through a lot of regen. Still, though, he is top CS, so it is all being rewarded. And he is being rewarded with a regen rune. Which works, a DD or a regen? Or does it just depend on the situation?
What annoys me more I'd say regen seems to hurt me more than DD does.
Yeah. In this case with the Dragon Knight, he's going to be full health most of the time anyway, so I'm sure Quinn is not seething too much, though I'm sure he's still a little mad.
It's more like when I'm playing against a Queen of Pain or something, she uses all her harass on me and all her mana, and then I lose like the Rune Guest fight. She gets a regen and I have to go back.
Shards is not going to be able to block in SVG. He is able to get up the Inkswell, stunning the Tusk. Bulba is going to let Crit chase down SVG, and he will manage to get that kill too.
And that's 2-2. A much better start to this game for EG, as at this point in the game it felt real rough. Land in the air again.
Once again, stopping that cookie animation, then lands the spear to follow it. Unfortunately, Fly did have a lot of stick charges. He slows down MSS, but MSS, with this Orb of Venom, was able to keep that Snapfire close. Now he does have another spear coming up, so RTZ, unless he jumps over it somehow, no. Quick turnaround, and MSS slows in with the God's Rebuke, making sure he gets out. He has a bottle, so it's actually going to be pretty nice when this support TV's back in. Mid lane, though, Quinn's in trouble. He managed to kill the creep to get level 6 and pops a Rolling Thunder to get away. That was a clever move.
But this is the catapult wave, and maybe he could have anticipated this gank attempt coming. Even though he doesn't die, having to go back to base here, not really too good of a feeling against Dragon Knight. He's going to pop his own. And somewhere,
Toss back, spear away.
Man, RTZ must be so annoyed right now at these spears.
Yeah. Once again, Quincy crew have like figured out a way to deal with the Ursa in the laning phase, and as long as they can hit this spear, oh, MSS, that was so close,
Dude,
but he
hits
barely managed to get it off.
And he's still sticking around in lane. Doesn't really have any more regen, but looks like he's gonna go for the snipe actually. That's why Biver, he's gonna pop his wand. They're gonna try to set up, maybe he finds the angle here. He's got a lift.
Okay, Fly's gonna come forward. All right, that's a freebie. Take him out. Oh, but there is Weaver on the other side. The bugs. Oh, the bug latched onto MSS. That is a disaster for him. He has no abilities to be able to get away, and now RTZ has vision. This might be both of them dying.
They said lag, and Crit said me too, it's okay. And he's trying to get them to play on.
MSS is very dead. Biver is going to be chased. Okay, Crit actually goes into the tier 1 tower. He knows he's giving up his life for this. He just wants to kill on Biver, but he's not going to get it.
And Biver's almost level 5 after all of this at 7 minutes in. So he's had a very good laning phase, as has Lamar's.
And with Grimstroke down there, he obviously feels like it's okay to leave you on top, and he'd be right. 34 and 16.
When you give Morph any sort of lead, especially, and I think I've said this in particular against strength offlaners, where they don't really have the best option to burst you down or harass you back, he's going to deny everything.
Yeah.
It's just what Morph does. You get a bunch of agi for free, you morph downwards, you're never afraid of getting bursted, so you always stay at a low HP range, no problem.
He almost hits for double the damage of the Tusk.
Oh yeah, it's impossible for Bulba to farm.
Yeah. So Bulba's got to find something else to do, and that's why he's going to start rotating towards the mid lane. They do have both ward and counter ward to make sure there's no vision to see this rotation, otherwise Bulba just be spinning his own wheels. Now, the bugs go out. Crit now with Bulba. Snowball on SVG and locking the two supports together for a beautiful combination with Fly.
And MSS, or no, Quinn, sorry, is stuck up there. They don't really know. That might save his life because they went all the way around, but in fact, if anything, it just really got his mid tower taken.
Yeah.
He's not able to pull off that wave, and he's just kind of chilling up here. He doesn't. I'm not actually sure why he's waiting this long. He was waiting for the Centaur to die, in fact. But he missed out on like an entire mid wave as a result.
Yeah.
So do you think that was worth?
I mean, with that many heroes hanging around, I'm not sure what he could have done too much anyway.
True.
I would say that I think Bulba has made the best out of a terrible situation. You can't lane in there, so you go mid, that mid rotation finds 2 kills, and you manage to bring down the mid tower.
Oh yeah, I think he's playing this very smart. I think a lot of people look at the CS and be like, CS low, but what was he supposed to do against a Morphling as Tusk after he got abandoned by his Weaver who gave up First Blood?
And that's pretty much the only advantage, because him and Artur are both in kind of the similar place in net worth. Neither one of them are super happy with their lanes as you are.
Yeah.
Finds the freebie on crit.
I don't think crit should ever be up here.
Yeah, it's not worth
The
it.
way that you kill Morph is not through like poking him repeatedly, which is what Weaver's good at. It's through just bursting him. And that is probably Weaver, as a 4 position, his weakest skill.
Yeah, they have to wait for Ryoya to have his Blink Dagger, right? Though, shouldn't he go? Well, no, I guess Spirit Vessel is Bulba's job, right?
Yeah, I think he already has the urn. No?
No.
I thought he had, oh, no, Crit has it, sorry.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I knew one of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I was like, wait, Bulba, whoever had it didn't have boots.
Well,
And
they're
then
going to pull that. This time it might actually work. He still has the bug on him. They're going to try and chase him down underneath the tier 1 tower. He's morphing into so much strength, but he has no armor. Maybe, oh, he turns into the Weaver and he actually gets away. Now Chris is going to be ready into the wall. He's dead.
Yeah, he stopped morphing. He's got to be careful. He's alright. But he stopped morphing for a second, and that almost got him killed.
I like the fact, okay, this is nice. Ryoya sees this and he's like, okay, everyone TP top. Let's make the most use of my dragon form here.
Go run bottom.
Hit bottom tower.
Well done.
Again, making the best out of a just bad situation.
Under attack. Dire's bottom
Will manage to
tower
get
won't
a
last
good
long.
amount here as he still has another 5 to 6 seconds. So a little bit more on Snowball rolling in MSS.
That's a pretty big
Walrus
kill.
punch to the back gets him killed. 7 to 7 now. And that tower.
MSS is having a very good time, by the way. And Bulba is slowly making a little bit of headway.
Okay, here Ryoya's gonna go for it. But a nice play from SVG putting the Inkswell onto the creeps means that he'll stick with it. He gets stunned. But he did what he came here to do. Maybe he didn't get the last hit on the tower, but the Siege Wagon did.
Yeah, he got the kill. That's all that he really cares about. And he's gonna back out. They want to get some more pressure on this top area, though, I'd imagine. I think even Arteezy starts making his way up towards top.
Dire's top tower
is the correct
needs
play.
some friends. Same as
And in fact, I'm not really sure where they're going to go for it. They're going to go Roche. They're going to scout for vision right now. They don't see anything.
Dire's top tower.
And they're just going to go for a pretty gutsy Roche call.
I mean, this is so hard since Enrage no longer does the double damage. You do not burst down Roshan.
They're sending the bugs into Arteezy's getting away.
Is about to
It's really long. Take it up for a while. Healing salve up. Okay, so Ryoya is kind of easy right now, but it's a distraction.
You've heard this one.
I hope that's the idea, because it did successfully work. They did get the Roshan kill and got the Aegis on Arteezy.
I have no idea what to say about that.
You think that was part of his master plan? He's like, don't worry guys, I'll show mid.
No, there's no reason to do that. If they had known it was going to happen, they would have skipped him anyways. Or they would have sent somebody around. They wouldn't have brought like 4 heroes there just to kill him. That was just kind of a straight up death.
Well, that's what you just tell yourself.
You got to sell the fake
Yeah.
fully, right?
Yeah,
You got to all in sell the fake.
Dire's
I mean, that's what I would say.
It's honestly the best fake because he believes it himself.
Yes.
It's like nobody's rushing. Oh wow, my team rushed. Excellent.
Dire's top tower is about
You
to
know what?
take
It's
the
perfect.
plunge.
Building up the Ethereal Blade.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Surprised he doesn't feel like he needs something like the Manto or Lickens or anything like that. Considering he sees the urn pick up by the
Dire's
Weaver,
top
and it
tower
was
is
relatively
about
early.
to take the plunge.
It's going to be, I mean, I guess he's just going to be ignoring the DK for a long time,
Dire's
right?
top tower is
That
under
is
attack.
going to mean he's very susceptible to this Blink Dagger Spirit Vessel build that could be coming in with the DK and then it was smoking. They wanted something more from that, and they just might find it in MSS keeping around the corner, but they had no stuns left.
Gold lead marginally in favor of EG. They've got this Aegis, but not really sure how they plan on utilizing it. No real aggressive items on Arteezy, who decided to go for the Mask of Madness first item. No bash or anything like that. He Yawar just continues to get really big. And he had that one moment where he was sort of pressured, but look how quickly he farms. Very nearly has the E-Blade. This is going to be like 16-minute E-Blade if he doesn't die here.
Well ahead of the average for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Quinn, a very fast Maelstrom, but he did rush it. No arcane boots or extra wraith bands. Not even treads. He's going to be going next. Does some damage to Bulba. Viver tries to follow it up. He actually has Walrus Punch, so we do have an additional disable here. And with the arena, they know that Tusk is already dead. That's why Quinn is going to try and go for the extra kill. On the Fly. Fly actually landing the stun onto Quinn. And now they're going to still all of EG rotating in. It was the right idea, but bad execution. Now they just fed away. Viver, nice deal with the Weaver counter. He manages to get out. The Ethereal Blade is now up. Shotgun City, ready to go for Yawar. Just headlong into 5. Okay, that's double faithful. That's a lot of damage right there.
He has 1 on 4.
Yeah, he is really low. He's going to be saved by Fly. But what about Arteezy? He's trying to hop over the cliff, and he's going to be chain stunned.
Some of these steals by Viver, and Yawar is way too strong for them to fight right now. 8.1k net worth. Arteezy is way behind that. Did not have the laning phase start that this Morphling did. And yeah, I mean, you saw right there, by the way, why you kind of loathe to play Weaver into Rubik. You're essentially giving Weaver or Rubik like the best ability, and you're giving him a disable. He does more damage than you. And it's really that mobility. No one really likes to play against it.
It's like both the best initiation and escape for the Rubik.
Yeah, it's actually so obnoxious. And it gives him a farming ability too.
He's got the Fire Snap Cookie right now.
They're smoked up, but it breaks.
The smoke broke on MSS, so evil geniuses should know about this. Group up, play on a high ground somewhere. Looks like they're going to leave Crit out there as a bit of bait. See if Quincy Crew take it. They tried to go for a sneaky Fire Snap Cookie. But
yeah, and oh, did he give it away again?
He did.
Indeed he did. The only way you could stop is if you throw out the bugs.
Yeah, and that's just a bit wasteful.
Also, you don't really have the mana pool to support that. But EG themselves are going to go for a smoke. Do they really have any way to kill this Morphling? I don't think so.
Well, they know that everybody was grouped up in that top area, so they're going to be able to get to this high ground before Quincy comes back, and they're going to be able to sound taking so much damage, but yeah, that's where he's going to get out, and X-Well just swarms for heroes with the follow-up Rolling Thunder, then it's swinging him chain stun, back and forth he goes. Arteezy now is going to try and very little HP, and he's just speared up. You are? Okay, Ryoya might be able to get out, though. Oh, Viper went the wrong direction. He thought that maybe the DK tried to juke up.
Probably wouldn't have killed anyways.
True.
Didn't have the lift, but Yawar, I mean, I guess he got caught morphing all the way back into Agi, because he has 16 wand charges, so I guess he just didn't see Crit coming.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was sort of close, though. You're going to see right here, they try to make the jump, but Ryoya, first the Tusk gets spotted, which is the worst possible situation, and then he kills himself really nicely done. But even if they killed him in that Mars ulti, I think they were all still going to die.
He just popped open, hit him. And that was a dominating streak given Crit. He finished off his Spirit Vessel off of that. So, bad fight, but a somewhat half-decent outcome, especially for Crit, who's now going to get a big boost of gold towards his Aghanim Scepter. And that will certainly be a nice counter to the Ethereal Blade Adaptive Strike Nation, if he can get it. And if they don't get one shot.
Big if after if after if.
And if the rest of Quincy Crew don't cast any spells.
I like it. You set up a perfect scenario.
EG ready to smoke.
I mean, they're just kind of bashing their heads against the wall.
They're going to
now.
blindly push into this high ground, but Quincy Crew
right
have
after.
left it right at the perfect time, and they're actually going to run in the low ground. It's going to be a perfect opportunity for EG, possibly. They're going to be on this. EG limited to MSS with a nice arena out. Quinn does have a Rolling Thunder, and they're in an alley too. We can actually change some of this. With the soul bind, he runs into our ETZ, keeps up the Earth to control as long as possible, but the rest of them need to be able to kite out that DK. The DK getting low, adaptive strike going out, not enough to be able to kill. You are 5 seconds, needs to be able to destroy RTT. That's the big damage dealer, and he still has that Spirit Vessel on him too. A Spear goes down, controlling a full buff, and they are kiting RTT nicely. Yuar has one more waveform to go. He's now low on mana, but he's back to safety.
They got to get out.
Yeah.
This initially looked like an okay fight, but they've overstayed their welcome. And it looks like rather than the Morphling, they have to get on top of MSS. This combination of the Mars Arena plus Quinn's Rolling Thunder is doing way too much. He's going burr everywhere in there.
Especially since they chased EG down into the low ground, and they went into a funnel.
Yes,
like that was
best case scenario. They were hoping to just run into the morph, maybe farming the triangle.
Oh yeah.
But that did not happen, and now the gold lead, for whatever reason, is only actually in 1K in favor of Chaos, and I think that's largely due to Crit having so much farm when he got the solo kill on the Morphling.
Yeah.
And all that gold and XP, but it's not like things are getting that much better. It's still 2K for Chaos. What if we actually get to a 5th game? Chaos, are they gonna complete it? They want that reverse sweep. They don't want to lose to the coach and the stand-in. They want to protect that pride.
They have, indeed, a lot of pride. Long being seen as the second best in NA. This is their best chance to stick it to EG for some time to come. They will not get another opportunity like this. The Lincolns is going to be up next for Yuar. Not too many single target abilities, but the ones that are there are very important. Especially that Dragon Tail from the DK.
It's mainly that and the Snowball.
Yeah.
Once you get rid of that, and eventually RTT is going to try to grab Abyssal Blade, right? Which is going to be another reason, or another way for them to deal with the Morphling.
Good point.
It's all single target.
Yeah.
The only real stun they have after that would be the Snapfire Cookie. But that's really hard to hit on Morphling, who's pretty much a moving target at all times. So the way that they'd have to kill is if Bulba also got a blink, and then they like simultaneously jumped onto this Morphling, but even that's pretty difficult in terms of coordination.
They easily have the 2 highest net worth heroes in the game, but they are only up by 2,000 net worth. That's because MSS is a little bit lower in the field, as are the supports.
Yeah, the script is really poor, despite having won the past, I want to say like 3 fights in a row.
Yeah, he's been targeted a handful of times here.
Yeah, and it's not like Byver's very rich either.
No. Surprisingly, considering all the great steals he's been having, but...
Are we going to get the 3-2 run back? I'd be so hyped, as Chaos are going to go for what...
He's running down the hill. That is going to be a quick pick up on him as he's silenced, unable to do anything about that. Oh, that's a nasty combination. They've got the disarm plus Phantom's Embrace combo. You get the Phantom on you, then you get disarmed, you can't remove it, so you stay silenced.
The DD on Quinn is pretty intense.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of damage, especially with this Treads build now and Diffuser Blade complete.
Radiant's bottom tower faces
even if it got nerfed, it still does a wealth of damage. Lincoln's is coming in soon, and at this point, Quincy crew just need to be able to play around Roshan and make sure that EG don't take it for their Ursa lineup. Not sure if they can take it themselves. That would be difficult, but always possible if they... do they have a Blast or anything? I don't think they do. A Pike for Mars.
Dude, they do rush so fast. Remember, Lucky Shot is insane.
That's true. Yeah.
Plus, Morphling just anybody can tank from. I think Mars with Bulwark can just do it.
Let's say it would be a bit of a risk for them to try without going for a kill on EG first.
Yeah, and I think this is, in fact, maybe EG.
Just love with the people and the Morphling. All that network, but no heroes to support you. Is it really worth anything? Quinn's gonna try and cover up Yuar's tracks here. Nomad's get another stun and a Spirit Vessel onto Yuar. Yuar almost caught by the shards, but he has the shotgun. Shotgun's out, Crit, but he's got 2 KHP.
Wow, I can't believe they finally got that fight. Instead, and it's exactly what I was talking about, ignore the Morphling. You're not going to kill him. It's the Mars that's the real problem. It's the Mars that's causing you all this issue. They finally kill the supports, and that forces the Morphling to backpedal, and somehow EG, I didn't think it was possible, but they have wrested the gold lead back in their favor.
Them making sure to get the initiation off of buying both their BKBs.
Yes.
That is a team fight winning combo right there.
Still, I mean, saying, you know, get on top of the Mars and get the supports, that's easier said than done, but they're finally able to accomplish that. Arteezy's going to get spotted. Fast little bear he is.
Hey, that was a Morph on the high ground, for example, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Arteezy's
Gonna run into him, and then switches dieback.
He does have the Aegis on Arteezy, so if he just brings Quincy Crew here, they may still be able to take the fight. UR comes in, tries to shoot down the Weaver, but he survives, and he has a cheese still anyway. Wouldn't have gotten that kill.
That was the Mars Arena. Keep in mind.
Mars Arena, plus they're going to be able to get all 4 bounties here. They are very rapidly turning around this network lead that Quincy Crew once held onto. It goes from almost 3K in their favor of Quincy Crew to now a 3K deficit.
Yeah, let's see this again. We have to see this. They get on top. Quinn is backpedaling. He pops his ulti, but with the double BKBs popped, really, he doesn't have any angle. And in fact, he misses crit twice on the way around and finally catches him at the end. But yeah, and it was actually Viber that bought back. My mistake. I thought it was MSS.
The Soulbind Morphling combination, it's cool. It does a lot of damage, but against magic immune units,
does nothing.
Does nothing. So this is going to be a significant window. EG.
Look at the 2 supports. They're farmed on the side of Quincy Crew. This will start to hurt them quite a bit because most Dota games comes down to like who can hunt who supports first. And if you just don't have any items, Viber used that buyback that I mistakenly attributed to MSS. There's a mech, for example, on this Snapfire. Like Weaver's got a Spirit Vessel. He's very farmed himself. I think he's going for Aghanim Scepter next.
Ooh, a repair kit found for Quincy Crew. Would I be wrong in saying that that's really beneficial because they just want to run the clock on EG and get their BKB timers low?
Dire's middle tower is drowning.
I don't know.
I
don't actually know if like this Aegis matters, and I don't know if the repair kit really gets too much weight. This is the first Snapfire ult I've seen him play.
Dire's top tower
and they're going to continue the march in. The backdoor protection is up in that top lane, so they'll have to go towards mid instead. I do not see Quincy Crew fighting into these BKBs right now. Oh, they do have double damage on UR, but he's not going that direction.
Dire's middle tower.
I was reading something in chat.
Dire's top tower is about
So I like vaguely heard your question.
Which was?
What did I read?
Dire's top tower.
It's actually
anything good?
No, somebody said.
Right.
Somebody said Sharky, aka Farm Simulator, sucks with multiple X's.
I'm sorry, can't we run the Shark TC?
Yeah. I don't know.
He's just got some really tired, but I find that funny. The 17 and 6,000 network, and they are hitting the tier 3 tower right now. The repair kit. Hello?
Kid. Who's got it?
I was picked up by what? It was picked up by Viper. Now she's sitting in their shop. Guys, it's 58.
Help me help you. Help me help you.
Wait,
you don't need this potion hard? Huh? What actually happened to it? They certainly have one.
Sitting there in their shop. I swear to God it is.
Is that, do you have the wrong team selected?
No, I definitely have the right team selected.
You definitely have the right, yeah. I saw it drop too. That's why you asked me that entire thing that I ignored by accident.
All right, well, you know, sometimes these things happen. Maybe sometimes you want to save your repair kit for tier 4s, who knows? BKB is up for UR, so time to even the playing field a little bit. Magic immunity on both sides now available, but is that enough for this Morphling? These heroes are still very tanky. They're not going to die to right click so easily. Pop up, finish up that tower. No, Party's not going to get them the chance. Backdoor protection actually goes up for a second, and he gets disarmed as well, but he turns back, and
So although Yawar might not die again this game, it might not matter if the rest of his team just dies. Woo. They're kind of doing it.
They certainly are on
Wow,
EG.
I really thought that Quincy Crew had this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and then they just... Like, you could tell they need to make good use of every BKB charge from here on out.
Crit
Trying to
is
plan their team fights
spotted.
accordingly. He's got 2200 HP plus the cheese, so he can be a little bit forward, just as long as he doesn't get chains stunned. And part of that comes from MSS, who's currently trying to farm up his Blink Daggers. They have some better form of initiation. The TP being threatened in this bottom lane protects the outpost long enough for them to be able to get the experience for it. Despite the fact that Quincy Crew is largely shut on their triangle and their side of the map, they will manage to share in the experience bounty even if they don't get the bounties.
A golden thread.
This Weaver's really farmed out. He is going to be a menace. I think he is a higher level than Arteezy.
Yeah, I almost thought when he was building up Aghanim Scepter, I was like, man, you're so farmed, Crit. Maybe, just maybe you go damage, but it's obviously not needed if this Ursa.
No, he's your mini
DK.
Aegis.
Yeah. They just continue to pump it out for you. Abyssal Blade up soon, as you predicted, against the Morphling. Ursa's going to be working towards that. What's Ryoya up to? He's got to put the Morphling queued up. Little blast here and there onto Arteezy.
This way he gets the jump on the Morphling. Pop the Lincolns 2 different ways, but there is a BKB now anymore.
5-man smoke up. Onto the high ground they go. MSS, he'll be there to break the smoke. Can he blink fast enough? He is fast enough, but there's still a lot of chase. And Ryoya is going to be able to get the stun onto Viper. That's going to be at least one pick off, but it looks like it's amazing. Think about turning here, but Arteezy jumps right back and does manage to get the Rubik. That is going to be both supports going down here. A bounce around, Rolling Thunder. Quinn's not sure if he wants to stick around here. I think he would like to get out, but he can't get the ankle. He's going to swashbuckle away. Run away.
And they're all healed up, and this is the benefit of your supports being so farmed. Both supports on the side of Chaos, or sorry, Quincy Crew are just both dead. They're not getting anything out of this, and the rich get richer, as we already talked about how farmed this Weaver is. He has, if you combine both their net worths, he has more than them.
Oh yeah, they're
By
at
a lot.
7,300 combined. He's at over 10K.
Yeah, by quite a bit.
Mid lane, you are with the Shikuchi in Morphling form. They're just not here. They're trying to see the initiation at the same time. MSN trying to go for a spear. It's off for not. He misses, and now he is now dead. Punisher is mistake. You are. Yeah, he's being ignored right now until he's the last one they can hit. Now they go for him. He's going to wait for him to the high ground, but I bet each here going to pursue. You are chased in. Shark's blocking him a bit. He's going to have to walk it off 4 more seconds. He's pulling out the wait for him, and he's dropping fast. He's dead. No buyback either. Quinn going to completely whip that Rolling Thunder. They need to find a way to be able to bring down some core here. And it's going to be Arteezy. He no longer has the Aegis, but he's going to be saved by the mini Aegis of Crit. A Brent's life, and now in rage as he turns on to SPG. The Abyssal Blade knocks him off. At the same time, Viper's going to change to the right-hand side. Quincy really needs to be able to finish off Arteezy, though. They have to go for the kill here, and now they do manage to get it. The Soulblind reconnect from Fly. Now on the robot. Fly's going to be dying next. Quinn's going to join the party here, trying to let his damage onto Quinn. Quinn with a swashbuckle cannot get away. Ryoya's stun lasts a little bit too long. Arena Spear onto Quinn. That's going to be another kill as a buyback comes out from Quinn. He knows EG, they have treaded far too far into the dire base, and they should be punished for this. They're going to try and get this remaining kill into Ryoya, and there is no way for him to get out. Nice butt spear from MSS, a little bit of style points, as they do keep the game within somewhat in their control.
Yeah, they smelled blood on the side of EG, decided to kind of go all in for it, but Arteezy just got way too separated from the rest of his team. Not really in a position where the Weaver could help out, didn't have the cheese, and 4 buybacks, I believe that was. They really need to get this Aegis take it out of the hands of EG.
Yeah, Yoar was dead so long ago. He is already up and
There's an
making his way
accident.
through Ocean Pit.
This is going to be sick for Quinn. This will shore up a lot of the net worth differential, in fact. He's one of the best acts.
Oh, they're going to buy back in. They're going to try and smoke, but I think they're going to be too late.
They are
This
going to be too
Roshan
late.
is dying so fast, they're not going to be able to There's a lot on the ground here. They're going to grab it all. No problem. Aghanim Scepter going over to Quinn and the Cheese while Yoar holds on to the Aegis.
And there's now a way for them to win. Look at that gold lead. It got destroyed with the buyback. And once it updates, it's going to go down even further.
It's 10K to nothing now. It is an even game, 23-21, 35 minutes, dead even now as a smoke up from Quincy Crew, sensing they hold an advantage
It
with
was
not just an
11K.
Aegis, but also a double damage on UR.
Yeah, it was 11K now to nothing. And if Ryoya dies, the game is just over. He's got to be careful. He's going to farm some creeps. They know about this too. This would be such a bad way for them to lose.
Good. He is very, very tanky. He's got 3.4k HP, but that may not be a whole lot to this Morphling, who can shred with his DD. He's almost hitting for 600 a shot.
Precious bounty.
We're going to take a bit of a breather. This is game 4 of the North American Finals for ESL 1 LA Online.
23-21. Quincy Crew is desperately trying to force game number 5, and they were so close. Then EG just won fight after fight, but then they went for that crazy dive where Chaos bought back pretty much everybody.
Yeah, they bought back on their 2 supports and Quinn. But now they have an extra life on Yuar. He's got his level 20 talent as well. Waveform attacks targets. It's a pretty big upgrade for him. Quinn went for the swashbuckle damage. On the other side of Evil Geniuses, we now have the +4 swarm attacks to kill, which is such an annoying talent. Those bugs, when you get them on people in a team fight, they're gonna stick. People just, most heroes are not able to just sit there swinging on the bug the entire time.
It's super annoying. We did mention if Ryoya dies once, the game might be over, but the same is true for Quincy Crew.
Yeah.
They had to use all the buyouts. I think Morphling is the only one with buyout. They used 4 in the last fight just to be able to hold.
We have the Fury Swipes damage for Arteezy and the Strength talent for Ryoya, which is why he is so tanky right now.
3.4k HP.
Yeah. Okay, looks like the issue has been sorted. TeamSpeak's ready to go, and Quincy Crew off to the races. They now have a buyback on Arteezy, just got it off of gold, so if I'm Evil Geniuses, you're going to be a little bit scared about starting a fight with Ryoya not having buyback, but at the same time, you can just play to win here.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to do. That's why, even with the Aegis, they're still really aggressive. And I think the reason for this is because the Morphling is the last target anyways. If they take down the Pengo, for example, it's still a 4v5. I don't really care about that Aegis at that point.
All right, well, bottom lane is being hit by a gigantic wave with 2 siege wagons, so very clearly, you know that Evil Genius is
I wonder where they are.
And UR has no problem making himself a target in the middle lane as long as it's close to that high ground.
So even though it's super obvious, the reason why they pop the glyph and they don't really give, they don't go all the way back is because they don't want to give up the positioning.
Right.
They want to keep Quincy Crew in their base, and so the worst thing to do for map control here is for somebody to TP bottom, and then Quincy Crew goes for a smoke or something, picks somebody off. The game gets really awkward from there.
Yeah, even just losing your vision that you put up,
exactly.
right? Like they got a nice 2 different wards here. They'll have somebody placed very forward to be able to break the smoke when they think it's coming. They've got sentries to make sure that Quincy Crew has no vision in this area, so they will have an advantage any fight that happens around here. But that's why Quincy Crew also very wisely choosing not to take any fight around that area. Nuar's going to play the opposite side of the map. This is just like a good read.
Yeah, he knows exactly where they are. They're not going to give up the high ground whatsoever. I think a line is being drawn to cut waves. It's a full butterfly.
Full butterfly for UR. He can invest into it because, again, he does have that Aegis.
No buyout now, though.
No buyout, so...
Arteezy,
You're already kind of all in on one team fight anyway.
they're not really that all in, though. They haven't lost backs.
I mean that if you lose one team fight, like, if everyone else dies and nobody has buyback, like,
Oh, yeah.
will it make a difference? Can UR 1v5? Jeez, look at UR. He's just tearing into that tier 3. You got a tier 2 on the side of Evil Genius. You're probably feeling pretty bad for that trade.
Once the Snapfire shows top, now they should give up control. And this is where you're going to see them immediately push up. And this shows an example right here, right?
Yep.
They were waiting for somebody to leave to
So
defend
this
the
is
base.
EG, they're going to try and double back now without their Snapfire?
No, they should really wait for him.
Okay.
They need the heal and the cookie and all that.
Yeah.
But they want to play around their vision. It's
Yeah.
really bad if you just give up the second war too. You want to make sure that you play around your vision when you can. But you're sticking around that area. EG is doing the right thing, and Quincy crew also did the right thing by waiting. But Morphling is getting a little bit
down
close.
there, they would certainly try and take that Aegis for a free initiation, especially with the lingering effects of the double damage on the DK. It's going to wait for him through. That's on cooldown right now, but they choose not to go. They don't want a better target.
Yeah, and it's just awkward going on the Morphling on that low ground area. It's the death zone for Mars Pango.
I can see this play really working with the Morphling, like, not being gone on in that area. There's a false sense of security, right? So if somebody else were to dwindle down there, say Pangolier, you get that kill, no buyback on him, huge advantage. But both teams just kind of prancing around this area.
And now the Aegis is gone, and Yawar has farmed up quite a bit. So I believe he will have buyback for the next fight.
Just needs another 500 gold, so that you could probably get that in a team fight, no problem. They are finally done. Evil Genius is going to push into that high ground, and Quincy crew, they're going to blink first. They're actually going to retreat from this area.
Are they going to be able to protect their ward is the question.
Possibly. Boba, he's going to stick around. He gets close to the Dragon Knight. They place a fresh set of wards on that high ground.
Chaos has
They will see each other. They see the ward. They're going to be able to take it out.
You play by the vision game.
I mean, there's no rush if you're Quincy crew, right? Like, okay, we lost our vision. No need to take the fight over there. Morphling's just getting bigger and bigger. That's unfortunate. He DC'd on top of the camp right as the spawn time happened.
He needs that gold.
He was looking for that gold, man. He's trying to build a Scotty.
He's back into the game. How long until their buyouts are refreshed?
1 minute for everybody.
1 minute for everybody.
Yes, they will need a little bit of gold on Viber, but I'm sure
He'll farm it up.
very likely they'll
That means the Dragon Knight will have it pretty soon too, although he did just fully buy out a Bloodthorn.
We do have tier 4 items, so both teams may take a break and focus on that, or in Quincy Crew's place, maybe they will try.
Yeah, somebody got Havoc Hammer.
Yeah, that would be EG.
Oh, they ran in, found the illusion. Havoc Hammer stats are alright. I guess that's the saving grace.
Yeah. If you have a good strength hero, it's not a bad nuke, but something tells me Dragon Knight is not going to give that up. Maybe Bulba can have it. It's a 125 damage nuke
Middle
now.
tower is under attack.
Oh, did that number a little bit wrong, but yeah. Walrus punch crit. Bulba gets a little bit more into the hard hit.
That's very nice.
That's a nice one,
Yeah,
for sure.
It's one of the better ones. He's gonna send Orb of Destruction back, actually. It's pretty tanky himself. 2.8. Let's round up and say 2.9k health. Teams haven't really gone into a fight for quite some time, and Chaos doesn't have the best vision. They know that there's a high ground ward up there. That's why EG's sticking around in this area. And Yawar is under this vision. They do have a gem. They want to press forward, but this means they have to show under the ward first.
They can try and pop it, but no, the BKB goes off from Yawar, and now Quinn, he needs to try and get out of here. Does have a VM dip. They got a nice soul line, and that is actually control of some of these heroes. He goes for Bulba once now, gonna go for him twice. Thunder's gonna bail out soon, and that means they're gonna try and reinitiate. They manage to get the silence, but not before the splash puzzle. He's still stunned for the Dragon Tail that landed on him though, and Quinn is dead with no buyback. He went hard the Aeon disc instead of holding out a buyback.
Oh, Chaos was so hard on all their spells. Crit, it looked like he was gonna get caught out by the Mars Arena. And then the Rolling Thunder really did not accomplish what they wanted it to.
There's a big wave at top they kind of have to deal with, and they don't necessarily know that Quinn doesn't have buyback.
I think they'll at least try to force it out, though. He still has his previous death timer, so 90 seconds is quite some time. They're going to check themselves.
Okay, they see Roshan isn't spawned. There's no dragon form. Still forcing. It looks like maybe Quincy crew. They might try and do something here. Yawar pops forward, does a bit of damage. He does have a buyback, but you know EG's gonna force it out of you
What
now.
was that? He hesitated and then he doubled back in for it. But the rest of his team not really in the best position to follow up on that.
Backs against and now Yawar, perhaps the nerves got to him, but he's certainly going to be forced into using this buyback. It's evil geniuses. They're going to press onward. A tier 3 dead.
So something's going to feel fishy because the Penguin's not buying back what the Morphling is.
Under attack.
The first repair kit is going to be used. Quincy crew without their Pango should not be going and looking for a fight. They shouldn't be itching for it. They just have to hold their base. They're going to have to give up Roshan very likely.
I thought you were going to make a joke right there. Without their Pango, don't go. But Roshan is up. That is
not so probably. He doesn't have a blink dagger. You could give it to Snapfire. The Black Dragon.
Oh, that's going to be high. Oh, I think they gave it to Arteezy.
Boring. Well, at least he can now pop it while he's disabled. If he gets speared, just take that off real quick.
And the long waveform out from Yawar, who is trying to get back to the base. Team fight wise, for Quincy crew to win, it's very obvious what EGD need to do. They just need to get to the supports, kill everybody but the Morphling, and then you can isolate the Morph, or maybe Yawar just waveforms in again. But for Quincy crew to win a fight, they need to do the same thing. They need to kill Crit and Fly.
Yeah. And
they actually gave the Aegis to Crit. That's how highly they value this Weaver. He's got Hex, Spirit Vessel. He's their real Morph killer.
they saw that he got targeted by MSS. MSS tried to, in the last team fight, blink forward Arena, but he was so fast with the Shikuchi that he managed to get out before the walls went up.
Got it.
Evans, however, not a bad choice for Bulba. He is just a big, tanky boy. 3K on the like high flats.
It's quite nice for them to have found.
Oh, yeah.
And a Minotaur horn of their own, and they're picking up some really tasty tier 4 items.
So, Minotaur horn for MSS. Timeless relic for the Morphling with that extra 15% spell damage.
Of course.
He just used 2 different waveform charges, but its evil genius is going through the front gate. Through the middle lane, they're just going to start swinging on the holdings and force Quincy crew to fight back.
What's the real response here? They're going to pop their repair kit on the melee racks.
Certainly slow them down, especially with the lucky shots that are coming out. They're actually going to be looking to spear back in. That's a beautiful one from Aurelia. He shuts. Oh, he got saved by the Weaver. Oh, he was just about to die. He was getting shot in honor. And he gets saved by Crit ever so barely. The walls went up to try and push him out, to try and keep the Weaver away, but it wasn't good enough.
And he didn't have to pop BKB. That was a pretty massive ulti that was expended, and now MSS is just bulwarking forward because he has nothing else to do. He's going
one more time, but at the same time, Crit is already pushed forward once again. He managed to get off the time lapse, and this time around, he's out the arena, but it's going to be MS's life that is wasted.
And they're just going to go towards top, I'd imagine. There's a gem on the ground from MSS. They want to pick that up themselves. Bulba's going to be the recipient. And they're pinging towards top. They don't have the DK form anymore, but they're still strong. And Chaos, without that giant initiation.
I heard a refresher shot that was for Rioya, so he can get a fresh dragon form out there.
They have to get to crit, but he's got the Aegis. EG have done this pretty well in terms of who gets what.
They have the arena up, so it was the right idea last time. Throw up the arena to block out crit while you sent Rioya like just thrown into his base.
Yes.
Just need to quit a little bit faster this time. Look at him, he's trying to position himself so he like only hits the barracks. If he gets speared in, he's got the illusion to help him out as well.
Dire's top barracks have fallen.
This time, the third time he will be careful.
Yeah.
That's 2 sets of racks down. EG will be very happy about that. They're about to lose dragon form for a second time. I would think that they can easily just wait 60 seconds. MSS did use his buyout.
Invisibility.
And this team is struggling. I really thought that Chaos was gonna
Yeah.
take this one home and force a game 5, but they're gonna go for the smoke, try to play for the win. They really have to find the vision game. Remember, it's crit. It has to be that slippery beetle that they go for.
I mean, Evil Geniuses set up a very strong siege that is very difficult to break. They can't afford to let them get set up again.
And look
in
at
the
them,
bottom
they're playing
lane.
around the ward.
They're
Always
playing
play around
around
the
the
vision.
ward, and they have a double damage on RTZ. This would be a very awkward spot. Now it's just dead. Quinn rolls off through, but it's not really good enough to do anything. Yuar hasn't managed to get any damage on anybody. Chris just hiding. He's ready to time lapse if it's needed, but right now it's not. It's don't do that. Don't morph into agility or strength anymore. He's got the spirit vessel on him. He just needs the second one for the cheese. He pops it for fear of the snowball that he's being chased by Bulba. They're gonna have to take a 4 versus 5, make that potentially 3 versus 5. As SVG is gonna be spotted here. He does have a buyback. He's gonna try and lead them away for as long as possible. He's fast. He's got tranquil boots. He's got Ghost Scepter. He'll buy them a few seconds for sure.
And that's an Aegis out, but they are going to get the kill anyways, and I think they're still going to go for the push.
That's going to be wasted for Quinn. He does manage to swashbuckle backwards, a buyback immediately from SVG, but Evil Genius has already been grouped up. There's no opportunity for a pick here.
And they still have no real answer for this Weaver Aghanim Scepter.
They do not.
And he's tanky enough to really live anyways. He's got 2.5k health, he's got a gem, sees everything coming, he's got a cheese for himself. They have 2 cheeses on the side of EG. And without MSS doing his spear shenanigans, I don't know how they separate this DK from the rest of the pack.
Dire's bottom tower will
In fact, it will take another EG dive deep into the base.
Yeah.
Looks like they're just going to wait for their Mars to come back. We think it's their only option. Yeah, you play from Megas. I think you would lose. Try to go in 4v5.
It's down level 25 on the Weaver, plus 200 Shukuchi movement speed. So if you thought he was hard to track down before MSS, it was hard to get those spears onto him. It's damn near impossible. In turn, MSS gets the extra second of spear stun. But with Dragonite having a Satanic, it's kind of rough. He's down that lands, it's just not going to be for too long. Is it enough, though?
They have Vlads now, too, to deal with the creeps.
He does 700 damage a hit, like when he waveforms back and forth, like he's doing right here.
All right. The insta-clear is pretty cool to watch. He's being really careful, too.
So that is like, what, 1,400 plus a bunch of magic damage. So you're looking at anywhere around 1,500, 1,600
They have no
damage.
buyouts, though. They have 1 on the Rubik. That's it.
I'm going to smoke up.
He's going to continue to play around their ward, and they're going to camp this top side area, I would hope.
They're going to try and get some vision up there, but it's going to be spotted immediately.
Yeah,
Bulba thinks about defending, throwing out an ice shards or something. They're going to reveal themselves, kill the vision. RTZ starts marching forward, though. So looking to get close enough for an Abyssal Blade. Trying to protect their vision. They take out the enemy wards, and Quincy is forced to retreat to their base once again.
They had vision anyways inside Quincy Crew's base. They had another set of wards placed with the sentry, and without the gem, they weren't able to spot that. In fact, there's a lane ward everywhere. That ward is just out of vision. Really nice obs ward placed by Fly. In fact, they have not covered their own base very well at all. So they're spotted throughout the entirety of this.
This is a very well formulated plan to lock Quincy Crew in their base. A masterclass way to be able to siege enemy high ground.
I think they're waiting for the next Roche.
Evil Geniuses do not want to go to a game 5. They are going to solidify their advantage in every possible way they can.
Now you get the Black Dragon, surely.
Yeah.
Screw this Tusk. He doesn't need a kick.
Also, level 25 on the Dragonite, so he does get the Aghanor's Blessing, but he also now has a +2 second Dragon Tail that amps it up to 5.25 seconds.
All right.
It's
I
how long
just
it
made up those numbers.
The fact that it ends on 0.25.
Yeah. At least round up.
Oh, no.
No, like 5.5. That's a nice round number. Everybody likes that. Trust me, Twitch had a little bit.
Let's round down. Let's make it 5. The Black Dragon approaches.
Oh, that thing
4,300 HP. And it spells doom for Quincy's base as he marches towards the a little bit, but boy, it just doesn't look like it. Now when the shotgun goes out with that magic resistance, Ryoga just shrugs it off. He still has a chase. He still has crit. He has back pocket at any point in time. And what Quincy Crew do not have is a rolling thunder. And now the tier 4 is going to make a decision here quite soon too. Now they gotta go for it now. They have to make some sort of commitment. The Antis is now going to be popped on Quinn as well. They're going to try and go for MSN. The Antis is gone, so they need to go to be clear. He buys back a stun out from the next going to be dying soon. Yuar's going to be the focus in front. He does have a Divine Reaper, but now he's been speared by the now he's being chased. His leg is broken. He's rolling up in the air. He's trying to get out. He is dead. And he is gone. And Quincy Crew, they're out. Evil Geniuses will be your champions. Northern ESL 1 LA online tournament.
with 2 stand-ins, 2 people from Europe, and Artesia, the only one with reasonable ping on the actual team.
Yeah.
They managed to do it in very nice fashion too. 3-1 over Quincy Crew.
Impressive.
Very well done. Yeah, I am quite impressed that they were able to make it happen.
This is like, this is possibly like what Ryoya's